Hello, hello, hello. My story, very normal people. As we always use, we say the same things, but different people, and different authors, and different experiences. And today we have someone different, maybe for you, but not so much for me. He's Alex Hart. Welcome, Alex, in our show.
Hi, it's good to be with you.
So, Alex, we would like in our show to for for the guest to introduce himself uh, by his own words. So can you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Okay, Alex is a name I chose for me.
Mhm.
I have been using it for a few years now. I started the journey in Greece, and soon it became apparent that it is good for me to travel. So I have visited maybe approximately 500 cities in one of those journeys from Athens to Barcelona by bicycle.
Mm.
I went through so many cities and met so many people. That was in 2015 and 16. I did something similar with a friend from Manhattan to Miami in 2018. I am in Athens at the moment and I am developing things in many fields. Generally, I do what I love. I have been doing this for many years. I love meeting people and sharing knowledge and also developing the projects that I choose to develop.
Okay.
New York New York is my favorite city alongside Tokyo.
Okay, New York, New York, yeah. But yeah, lately we have some bad news from there. Right? It's too cold and people have lost their lives, right, because of the snow and all that. Unfortunately. But so, Alex, what are you going to share with our audience tonight? I mean, for us, it's night here, okay?
Hmm, maybe I'll talk to you a little bit about my book, Clarity Boom, and then you ask me some questions and we see how it goes.
Okay. Yeah, tell us. Tell us about your book.
So, so I have been developing this for many years.
Mhm.
It is a condensed version of philosophies from my travels and my studies, and also reading books and watching movies and listening to videos and meeting people from New York to Tokyo and everything in between. So it has 10 principles. The principles are in the metaphysical world,
Mhm.
which are clarity, freedom, speed, power, and vision, and 5 that exist in the physical world, which are communication, truth, agreement, plan, and action. When you put these 5 principles with these 5 principles together, they connect because what you have understood in the metaphysical world, you can also bring it and make it a reality into the physical world. And these 10 principles are a simple guide for someone to learn how to do this. Each principle has 9 elements. I'll show you. I have printed a guide here.
Okay.
So this is the on the first list here. You have the principle of clarity, and
Mhm.
you have 9 elements. I'm going to read them. It's spirit, always, everywhere, unity, source, abundance, love, divine, and omnipotency. Each principle also has a being which you can draw inspiration from. For the principle of clarity, it's the elephant. You also have a quality. For the principle of clarity, it's fire. And you also have a symbol. For the first principle clarity, it's the tesseract. And you can also see the
Ah,
symbol
you have the
here.
symbol for it. Okay.
Yeah. So this is how it looks. This is the guide.
Okay.
So that means that the book has 120 chapters. In total, 123 pages because the final 3 pages are white because book is being presented alongside a service. It's a journey that can take a long time for someone to go through all these chapters, and usually they do it with me.
Hmm. So, can you tell us a little bit, to elaborate a little bit, the five first ones that you said?
The five first ones.
Yeah, yeah.
So, clarity, an example as to how someone can have a better clarity level is I'll take a simple example. This has also been written into a poem by the famous Greek poet Odysseus Elitis, who has also won the Nobel Prize in literature. So he wrote a poem about one word that is being used very often in the Greek vocabulary, and most people that speak Greek, they use it every day.
Mm.
Maybe most probably you've heard of this before. It's the word preppy. Yeah. In English, it's the word must or should. So Elitis wrote a poem about this very word, and the final verses from the poem, I'll read them to you now. They are, I'll do it in Greek. Παραλαμβάνεις από τους δίες τον κεραυνό. It means you take from the gods the thunderbolt. Και ο κόσμος σου υπακούει, and the world obeys you at your command. Και ο κόσμος σου υπακούει. Εμπρός λοιπόν, so αυτό είναι, this is, he's pushing people to do something, παρότρινση in Greek. He's urging people to do something, to do what? Εμπρός λοιπόν, από σένα η άνοιξη εξαρτάται. The spring will come because of you. This is the translation. And then the last line is, πιάσε το πρέπει, κάνε, τάχινε την αστραπή. Make the lightning go faster. How? By removing the word πρέπει, and that's the final line from the poem. Πιάσε το πρέπει από το γιώτα και γδάρε το ίσα με το πι. So this poet, who has won the Nobel Prize in Literature, is urging people to skin it, because it's like a second skin. How do you make the lightning go faster? By removing, it doesn't happen in a day, it will take time, by removing this word, preppy, from your vocabulary, or the word must in English. So this is a very, very small and quick example of how someone can raise their level of clarity. And there's dozens and hundreds of intensity, small, medium, and large, that can take a long time for someone to remove, basically. You can even call them a lie. It's a lie that someone has to do something. And it's ingrained into people's consciousness. It is also transferred into the way they speak for them and towards other people. And it creates problems on a personal and interpersonal level.
So let's say the clarity is like, so you have to clarify yourself, your just let's say the inner person, or also the outside. In which level do you put this?
That's a nice point that you're making. I have this quote that I put together a few years ago, that reality is a me reflection. That means that your level of clarity is going to be projected into the world. If you identify with, for example, negative thoughts, which I sometimes call just little clouds above you, if you identify with them and you speak these words and you connect with these words and you project them into the world and the people mainly around you, you're going to get similar results. So that means that your level of clarity and how you speak about the world will also determine your experience.
Okay, clarity. The first one. The second one is
freedom.
Freedom. Okay, now. So we understand freedom. Okay, let's keep on. Let's skip to the third one.
Speed.
Speed. Okay, that's a little bit, could be very interesting. You know, in the time that we're living, we have never been so fast. Our world, right? So tell us a little bit about that speed.
Yes, and then the question is this speed coming from repeating the same things every day in an almost automatic fashion? Or are they choices that one makes at any given moment, and then they are also open and eager to accept the responsibility that comes with that. And so we go back to the first principle. The higher the level of clarity, the more clear the choices one will make at the second step, which is freedom. And then, yes, and then responsibility also comes with that. And then at the third level, which is speed, then we are going to start talking about speed. Because if someone doesn't have the clarity and the freedom, how are we going to speak about freedom? And then the fourth, which is power. So these are put together in a very specific order. So to lead into the fifth principle, which is vision. And this is in the metaphysical world. So for someone to have a clear vision, they first, before that, they want to have the power to first of all visualize. And also within those principles, also the idea of believing. So this is also part of those principles. And then before that, you have the speed and the freedom and the clarity. So in the movement arts, because these ideas are also connected with the movement that you perform when you are practicing certain, for example, Asian arts like Kung Fu and Tai Chi and Karate. So if you're talking about the strength of a fist, when it touches an object, someone would say that this is a physical property. The truth that is that the strength and the power that comes with the fist, it has a prerequisite, which is speed, and before that, freedom, and before that, clarity. So yeah, it is an intellectual level, and a mental level, a spiritual level, and then it transforms into the physical world.
Okay. So these are the five metaphysical, right?
Yes.
So tell us for the other five.
The other five are communication. So I'll read about this from the guide. So communication has these elements which are sapience, because now from a spiritual level, you are entering the physical world. So all of this is going through the physical body as well, and the limitations of the physical body. So you have sapience, and then open, because communication, it is good to be open. You have presence and direct intention, because language is also transferring intention. And then connection, knowledge, feeling, intuition, and then being is the wave for inspiration. The quality is the air, and the symbol is the rhombus, which relates to this symbol, where you will, when you communicate, this is again from the book, in the four corners of a rhombus, imagine that you're entering a space, like a space where people, buy food or things. Yes. A public space outside, like a restaurant, and yes, you enter this place. So you're going to have on one corner of this four, you're going to have the awareness of the environment. Then you have an awareness of you, and then on the two sides you have an awareness of how other people feel about themselves, and also about how other people feel about you. So these four elements of awareness, they exist within a space that you enter. And it is good for you to know this. So this is included as a symbol in the principle of communication.
Okay.
The four levels of awareness when you are in a space with other people.
So this is about communication, right?
Mm-hmm.
The second one is?
The next one is truth.
Oh, now we're talking about that. Now we're
Yes.
going down. So
And
tell,
the truth.
tell us a little bit about the truth, how you understand the truth, because truth sometimes it can be a little bit relative for some people, right?
Yes, and that's why the symbol is the spiral, because truth is something which you will go through again and again. So as time goes by, you will see the same truths and you will understand even deeper what is going on. So that's why the symbol is the spiral. So the elements are frequency, clear, concise, body, language, senses, questions, answers, and understanding. So the last element is understanding, and the being for inspiration is the B,
So,
because the truth stings like a bee, and and it will also transfer something. The bee is life-giving,
mm,
and will also, it will travel. They say that if bees go away from the planet, all life ends.
okay, yes, that's right. So, what about you? What is the truth according to you? According to Alex, what do you
Uh,
think that this is the truth? Something that you are grabbing?
I will. Uh, you will tell me if I respond to the question. What I feel
Okay,
to
okay,
say
I
is
will
that
see.
yes, uh, as you said, the truth is something relative, and
Mhm,
we are mirrors to each other.
mhm,
Friction between two people is creating the circumstances for both of them to see something better and understand it better.
mhm,
So, what someone is considered to be true at any given point might be different from what the same person considers to be true at a later given point in their lives. So, what matters is to trust your instinct or your intuition. And
mhm,
I like what Marcus Aurelius says.
mhm,
He says, just do the right thing. The
mhm,
rest doesn't matter, hot or cold, despised or honored, well rested or tired.
mhm.
I live by this quote, and what I feel, because this is also something physical. I do trust what my body is telling me in regards to what is the truth at any given moment, and I trust it and I listen to it. I've read somewhere also a very nice quote that goes like, "Do not argue with the body."
Okay. Hmm. I doubt a little bit about that because our body wants to be lazy sometimes, man. It just won't
That's
sleep in the morning and say, "I'm okay, leave me alone." Okay, so if you let
that's
it
a
alone, it won't good. It's not a good sign, right?
It's a very good point you're making, and I'm gonna jump back to this
Hmm.
because the higher the clarity
Hmm.
and gradually the more clear the vision, the closer that one comes to fulfilling their purpose, and they know it.
Hmm.
And this is irrelevant to other people because I believe that everyone has a purpose why they are here.
Okay.
Some people say the two best days of your life is when you are born and then when you find out why. So the closer you come to connecting and aligning to your purpose,
Mhm.
the body wakes up together with you because it's an awakening on a spiritual level and also on a physical level. The body will follow, and I know because I've experienced this, so I can understand it. It has become an experience for me, and the body is not getting tired when one is aligned with what they are supposed to be doing, and this comes sometimes after a long time. Erich Fromm has written about this, how it is very difficult for most people to ask these questions like, what am I doing and
Mhm.
why? Why am I here? And why do I do what I do? Many people are avoiding to answer these questions and they fall back to the similar and well known patterns of behaving and speaking and interacting with the same people in the same city, doing the same thing for decades.
Yeah. Okay. So for you, something that it's forever truth. What is the truth for you, which will won't be touched by the time or by anything.
Ah,
I'm a little bit stubborn, sorry.
what?
I'm a little bit stubborn.
Oh yeah, this is nice. This is nice. I am feeling the question, something which is forever true and will not be altered by time.
Right.
That's a nice question. Forever true. Well, I'll say light.
Okay.
And this is something. This is something we may all come to see and realize. It's the true essence of everyone, that we are light beings, and everything uh, on top of our true nature is conditioned. I like a quote by Adiasanti. He says, and I'll read it to you, so I want to be precise. I'll come back in a
Okay,
few
yeah, I see.
seconds.
Yeah. So for us, it's publicity for us, guys. Yeah.
So he speaks about enlightenment.
Mm.
So, okay, okay, I found it. Enlightenment is a destructive process. It has nothing to do with becoming better or being happier. Enlightenment is the crumbling away of untruth. It is seeing through the facade of pretense. It's the complete eradication of everything we imagine to be true. So the spiritual journey is not a journey of addition. It's a journey of removing everything that is not true. It's a destructive process. And I'll connect this idea with what I said in the beginning, word preppy or must. For someone to remove the word, it is a word that has been
Sorry.
conditioned
One
on the
second.
way you speak.
Yeah.
The word preppy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
You
because
can hear me now.
yeah, I can hear you. It's okay. Just yeah, it's okay. Okay. Just
Okay.
okay. Sit down. No problem.
Okay, I have a hotspot, so I'll put the phone back to its
Ah.
its
Okay.
its position. Yeah, and I'll come back in 5 seconds. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a process of distraction, of removal.
Hmm.
So that idea connects with the idea of from the poem and the word preppy or must or
Hmm.
should in English.
So you.
How one will gradually remove this. They say that we are born creative geniuses, and the education system actually makes us stupid. This has
Okay.
been examined. There is an amazing article that is written about this, how they tested this.
Hmm.
And I find this to be true. We have amazing powers that most of us, we haven't tapped on them because so many things are blocking us.
I see what you mean. Okay. The next one is after the truth. What is that? In the truth.
Communication, truth, agreement. When
Agreement.
you are saying, yep,
Agreement. Okay. Now to speak about agreement. Okay. Please explain.
yeah,
Elaborate a little bit this
you're.
one because this is very. It should be very interesting, especially
Mhm.
nowadays that we're talking.
Yeah, because the agreement you're making with yourself, you're also making it with other people. So the principles from this book, they actually apply to the relationship you have with you, like what you do, what agreements are you forming,
Okay.
and this is on a personal level. And then they also get transferred in the relationships that you have, the agreements you make with other people.
Okay.
So communication, truth, agreement. So you will communicate the truth at any given moment, so to come to an agreement.
Okay.
And after agreement comes the plan. Based on the agreement that you will make, you will formulate a plan. And then the 10th principle is the principle of action, which actually connects all the principles together. Hence why it's called clarity and boom, because clarity is the first principle and boom is the result, which is also a word for expansion.
Okay. Yeah.
This comes with action. So you will take action in the physical world based on the plan. And if you go backwards, based on the agreement and the truth you said and the communication you had based on the vision that you had, and you're going to set it. This is what is going to help you connect with people. What is your vision? This is an amazing question for everyone to ask. What is my vision? And it starts like my vision is. And then you communicate this.
Okay. I have one last question before you, because also the time is a little bit, we have to make it a bit short. You can have another talk, no problem. So, if somebody follows perfectly all the 10th rules that you, sorry, principles that you have in your book, what is going to happen to him or her?
They will come closer to experience the life that one would call an amazing life. Overcoming and signing through fears and intellectual and physical obstacles that have been conditioned gradually, day by day, for decades. It's a journey that can take 1 year or 2 or 5 or 10, depending on how fast someone can go. And I say can because not all conditioning can be removed immediately. It can take time.
Right.
The poet Oelitis, he said, Nagdaris, you have to skin, just using the example of preppy, must. You have to skin this. It doesn't come in a flash. It can take a long time. So it's a gradual process to come closer to experiencing an amazing life, the way that you have envisioned it, which means you take your life into your own hands. This experience, this life experience, there's no place for playing the victim or complaining about anything that is going on around you or happened to you in the past. That's why in another okay, there's a pop-up message here. In a concept that I'm using called the plus X plus that relates to the clarity boom, I have 3 lines that describe the process. Decode the past, envision the future, and be present. Because once you understand what has happened in the past, then you are free from that. It doesn't define you anymore. You are free to choose where you want to go. You are free to visualize and connect with the vision. Your imagination is free. And that means you have all the power in your hands to create what it is that you want to create for you and the people that you choose to create it with, and then share what you are going to create, because through sharing comes joy.
Right. So, thank you very much, Alex, and we wish you all your best, and also Happy New Year, by the way. And guys, please subscribe and just share whatever we have around here, even this video with Alex. Tell those guys, your friends, that there is something like 10 principles. Alex speaks about that. And just please subscribe. Till the next time, goodbye.
It was good to talk with you.
Bye.